Hey, a green trout. That's what they call bass down here. Hey, now we're talking. Now we're talking. What? I'm throwing a spinnerbait, and Frank said this is a good spinnerbait spot, and it sure is.
There we go. There we go.
Hey,
that's
a
about a
fish.
Venice fish. That's about a Venice fish.
Bass Pro Shops presents Fishing with Roland Martin. Brought to you by Tracker Boats, Fish the Finest. Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits, designed by fishermen for fishermen. Timbuktu, Fisher's Choice, real bait ready when you are. And by Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here. Closed caption provided by Spro Lures. This segment of Fishing with Roland Martin is brought to you by Evolution Jigs, staying one step ahead of the fish.
Well, folks, here we are in Venice, Louisiana, the pride of Plaquemines Parish, and I'm with Frank Casiopo, and Frank has been my bass guide for years and years and years, helped me out in a lot of tournaments, and we're going to do some flipping. Now, this is the first time you've been down since the last gust-off, the last
Correct,
storm.
correct. We had Hurricane Gustav, Hurricane Ike, so need to go see what the status looks like. And
So Frank hadn't fished down here in a few weeks, and so we're launching out of Cypress Cove Marina. It's all a brand new facility, all brand new motel, brand new restaurant, brand new everything. And that's the beautiful thing about since these big storms hit, everything's brand new.
brand new, built a code, ready to go.
Now you heard some reports the bass are doing well.
They seem like we didn't get hit as bad as we thought we initially were, so we're gonna find out.
Well, so folks, hold on. Frank and I are going to do an exploratory mission after the last storm. We're going to catch a bass. New Evolution jig, and this is an exploratory mission. Frank hadn't been down here since Gustav. It's been several weeks, so we don't know what to expect.
Usually after a lot of hurricanes, you don't see any hyacinths, any milfoil, but hyacinths look good and healthy. It's pretty encouraging. See how all the rosos are knocked down?
Yeah.
Probably got a water spout that came off the river and...
Huh. Ooh, look, there was a big fish that swirled right there. Hey, a green trout. That's what they call bass down here in Louisiana. Green trout. So, since the hurricane, it means that the bass didn't all die. At least that 6 or 8 foot storm surge, at least one of them survived. I think it's going to be all right. I don't think these bass did perish from the storm.
No, I think we dodged another major bullet here in South Louisiana.
I'm going to put this power pole down right here on this point and see what happens. Good, Frank.
Whoa!
You got one.
Whoa! This has got to be a redfish here, folks.
What you have? Look at that, flipping the hyacinths. And what do you have, Frank?
You and I just can't seem to go flipping in Venice without catching redfish. Roland.
That's the beautiful thing about it. You know, here we are bass fishing, and you can't keep away from these big redfish. I'm telling you, those big redfish are something. You know, the biggest redfish I ever caught, I caught a 50-pounder with my son, and I was practicing for a bass tournament at the Delta here, and I caught our biggest redfish I ever caught on bass tackle, just like this. Old, I'm telling you, those hyacinths.
I tell you.
And he was underneath the hyacinths, wasn't he?
Underneath the hyacinths. He hit it on the initial drop. He probably like took the pole out of my hands.
That's something else.
We're gonna let this guy go.
Bass fishing. There's one. Oh yeah, little. Look at that. Frank just let go of about a 6 or 7 pound redfish, and I made the next cast and caught a bass. That's the
a neat
variety of
deal.
Venice. That's what
It's
it's all
great.
about.
You just never know. You just never know.
Another one.
Oh boy.
Another bass. Now this is full of fish. There are so many fish here in Venice, it's just unbelievable. I'm using that 1/2 ounce Evolution jig. What size jig do you like to use, Frank?
Depending on the current and the type of structure,
Yeah.
anywhere from a 1/2 ounce down to 3/8.
I got you.
Get a lot of heavy hyacinths, then you know you need that 1 ounce to.
Oh. Okay.
There you go.
Little bass. Little old green trout, they call them. A green trout.
Hitting that new jig pretty good, huh, Roland?
Yeah. Look where the hogs have been rooting. Could be cattle then, huh?
More than likely, it's hogs.
Yeah, boy. Get them, Frank. Get them.
Decent fish.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I had one. Maybe I didn't. My imagination.
This segment of Fishing with Roland Martin is brought to you by Honey Hole Tree, imitating nature's design. Nitro Boats presents this segment of Fishing with Roland Martin.
There we go. There we go.
Hey,
that's
that's a
a
big
better
fish.
Venice fish. That's a better Venice fish.
That's what we're talking about. Tournament fish. There's so many thousands of bass here. And because of all the storms and because of all the way they are in tidewater, they don't get much over. They don't get 6 and 8 pounds very often. You caught an 8.5 pounder though this spring.
Caught an 8.5 pounder in Carnarvon for a tournament this summer. Yes, sir.
Wow, that was something.
That's quite
That's
a
the
lot.
biggest one you've ever caught in the Delta?
Pretty much, yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I've caught them over 10 in Lake Amistad,
Okay.
different areas, but that's a pretty large fish for southeast Louisiana.
Ooh, son. Nice bass, Frank. All right. That's more like it. Pretty good
too
tournament
bad.
fish. 2.5 pounds, 3 pounds, yeah. You know, and that's what it takes to do well in a tournament. You have to just keep flipping around and upgrade to that size fish, and then you got something. You got
Right.
15 pounds. Oh, look at that. Look at that. This is crazy. This is really crazy. This is the deal. Look at this thing. Oh, man alive. You know, here you come down to Venice and you catch all kind of saltwater fish. What is that now? That's a
That is a
sheephead.
sheep's head.
That's a big giant sheephead.
Or what we call
Folks,
a
we have a big-
convict fish down
what?
here. A convict fish with all the stripes on
Convict
them.
fish. Heavens. Bass fish in the Delta. And look what we catch. Big old giant redfish. Oh, I'm telling you, that's something else. That's something else. Can you land them?
Oh yeah. I don't
Let's see,
think
what
he's
pound
ready
test-
though.
What pound test is this?
That's 14-pound fluorocarbon.
Oh, okay. he's a good 10-pounder, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Dropped him back. That's cool. But I still think that other one was a bass. Bass fishing with Frank, and it seems like every time we bass fish, what happens is we catch some big old redfish no matter what. I'm throwing a spinnerbait, and Frank said this is a good spinnerbait spot, and it sure is. But it's the wrong species fish. Well, you know, we actually came down the earlier part of this week, and I was fishing with Bill Dance for some big bull reds. I was fishing with my wife Judy for some bull reds. In fact, we caught a 30-pounder, some 25-pounders, but we were fishing for redfish. Now we're not fishing for redfish. We're fishing for bass, and we're catching redfish. What you got? Got a big bass? No? What you got? Uh-oh. You know, last night we had redfish on the half shell. We cut the sides off and just had and baked the whole skin and scales and everything right on the grill. Yeah, that's perfect size to eat. That's perfect size.
Quick release.
One thing when I flip Frank, I like to have that line to go as smooth as possible. So I use a line and lure conditioner. Makes it flip a lot better. And you know, while I'm at it, it's a good saltwater protection. You can just protect from the saltwater environment. You can throw it spread all over the rods, the guides, everywhere. It's a good line and lure protector. Line and lure formula. And watch how much better it casts.
Let's give it a
Real
shot.
good. Ooh, son. Yeah. Now, according to the color selector, this chartreuse phase is pretty recommended. You know, it's like, yeah, that's kind of the truth here. Almost, it's so dingy. So you've told me 100 times your favorite colors are chartreuse, and then when it really clears up, you might go to the blue and the black and some of those colors like that.
Right.
But when it's dingy like this, and the color selector supports that, it shows this chartreuse being a very preferred color.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, not all chartreuse. You know, there's just a little bit of chartreuse.
Right. Mega strike.
Okay. Pacho in here, huh? Isn't that funny? Little patch of fish. They like this grass. You know, don't you think that in general down here in Venice area, that unless you find the grass in these ponds, you're going to have a hard time finding the fish?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I
so
think
you
it's
need
like that
this
anywhere in
milfoil.
the country, but
This milfoil is the whole key to it.
absolutely. Go up to a patch of that milfoil and take your rod and shake it in there, you're going to see all the sediment come out.
Okay.
So that's where it's helping us out. It's filtering the water, and it's giving these smaller fish naturally a place to hide. Some of these smaller bass down here, the redfish really take their toll on the small bass.
Big fish here, huh? Can be. Here we go. Okay. He's just sitting there munching on it. You know, he didn't go anywhere with it. He just went nibble, 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 nibble. Just sat there, nibble, 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 nibble. What you got, Frank?
Oh, his baby brother. We got turn him loose.
Okay, all right. Nice little tournament fish. Still small now. Little old fish, 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds, are still a couple years old. You know? What do you think? How old are they?
Probably about 2 years old. Probably got spawned out a couple of years after this last storm.
This segment of Fishing with Roland Martin is brought to you by Spike It. If fish don't like it, spike it. Bass Pro Shops is a proud sponsor of Fishing with Roland Martin.
Now, Frank, here in Plaquemines Parish, it's already the redfish capital of the world. I mean, this
That's
is
right.
there's more redfish